All right, so I'm going to talk about the CR chart market depth converter utility. So this utility basically takes market depth files, which are files that CR chart provides. So there's stores market depth activity in them, and this utility helps us convert those files from a binary format into a text format that we can then open in and analyze, right? Either in Excel or R or Python or whatnot. So in this video, I'm going to go a little bit over those files and then convert them and open them in Excel and take a look at what they look like and how to read them. So the first thing we'll do is let's look at CR charts. In CR charts, I have the DOM open, and on the left hand side we have the buy limit orders as they appear on the order book, and on the right hand side we have the sell limit orders. And as you can see, these orders, the limit order book keeps getting updated on both sides as either traders are submitting new limit orders, modifying existing limit orders, canceling orders, and orders are also getting filled by traders, right? So buy orders down here are getting filled by sellers, and opposite on this end, right? Sellers are getting filled by buyers. So what we're seeing though is that this thing continuously gets updated. Now, CR chart stores all these updates in a file, right? In files, which we can find in our CR chart data folder and under the market depth data folder. So if I have here open D CR chart data market depth data, which is where my CR chart is writing its data to. And under here you can see that we have these depth files. Now these depth files are binary files, and what we're going to do is convert these files into text files and then look to see what's inside of them and what we can learn from them. So I'm going to close CR charts now. So let's close it. And you'll notice that this file is timestamped to now. We closed CR chart, it wrote all the latest data into it, and it's about a little bit over 5 megabits in size. Now in order, like I said, these files are binary files, so if I try to open them with Notepad, you'll get like a bunch of gibberish here, and that's not very helpful. So we want to convert them into text files that we can then analyze and look at. So to do that, we're going to use a little utility called CR chart market depth converter, which you can download from this link. And I've copied it into one of my temp folders over here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this over there. Right? So now I have the converter and the depth file in the same folder. And that's just for making it easy. It doesn't have to be, but makes typing the path a little easier. And the next thing I'm going to do, I opened up command line and I'm going to go into that folder. So now we're in this folder and we can see that I have the executable and I have my depth file. Now in order to run this, it really is just a matter of providing it with 3 parameters. Okay, so we have the input file, which is the depth file, and then the output file, which is where to write it, or the name of the file to output to, and the number of rows we want to export. Okay. So in my case, let's run it CR chart. And then this is the depth file. We're going to write it to out.txt, and let's convert 10,000 rows. Okay. So now let's go back here. We'll notice that we have an output file. And this output file, if I open it, this time in Notepad, we can see that it actually has values that we can read. So date time has like, this file has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. Date time, command flags, number of orders, price, and quantity. So it'll be easier if we open that in Excel. So I'll do that right now. And when we open a text file, it runs it through this wizard, which is kind of helpful. Our delimiter is comma, and our date, we'll change that to text. And now we have it like this. Price and quantity. Okay, so let's fix this formatting a little bit. Ugh, too much. Okay, expand this. We want to increase. There we go. Now it looks nicer. Okay, so now what do we have? We have a few columns that I'll go over. So date time is the date time that this happened, and it goes from top to bottom. So this is the first record, and then as we go down, we're going later in time. So if you notice here, this is like what, midnight 39. This is all UTC time. If I go down here, you can see now it's 40 and so on, 41 seconds and so on, 41 minutes, sorry. Now the next column is called command, and command basically maps to this, to these values. So if I do this, let's open that here, no, not like that, here, open that like that, there you go. So command maps to these. Command number 1 is to clear the book. Command number 2 is that a bit level was added. 3 is ask level was added, and then we have modifications for the levels and deletions of the levels. And each time we have, at each timestamp, it tells us what command was executed. So all these here, you see they're 2, all the way down. These are all bit levels getting added, and I'll talk about that more in just a second. Then we have the flags, which flag is not that important for our purposes, and I won't go into it. Just ignore it for now. Number of orders is the number of orders that is makes up this record. So we basically got a quantity of 5 added in this case, and with 5 orders, which basically means one contract per order. Here we had 25 orders with a quantity of 28. So some of the orders were greater than one contract. But for the most part, you can go down here, you can see there is 28 orders with a total of 47 and so on. So this is telling us how many orders, and this is telling us the quantity, okay, the volume. So, and that is basically this, and this obviously tells us what price the update is happening. Okay, now how do we read into this? So one is, let's do this actually. Let's say that we want to look at how do we go from this to interpreting the order book initialization and then updates to it. So if I look at this, right, we'll notice that the order book basically has volume and levels going up, from here going up, and from here going down, right? This is the highest bid, and this is the lowest ask, and that's how it goes down here and up here. So if I look over here, what we're seeing basically is, starting from the top, we have a command 1. Command 1 is telling us clear the book, right? So we're starting from a clean slate. And what we're doing now is trying to build this thing up. So our first task is really we have what happens is we have a clear, and then it gives us a bunch of adding bid levels, a bunch of number twos. After it finishes with all these number twos, you'll notice that it starts here to do a bunch of number threes. It's building up all the ask levels. And then down here, right around here, we finished adding all the ask levels. And now we'll start doing updates, right? So basically what we have here is, imagine that we're connecting to CR chart for the first time. We have a reset or a clear up on top. It's giving us all the data from the book as an initialization, and then from that point on it starts to update. So it's as if we connected, we got our first snapshot of these levels, and from that point on it starts to update these levels row by row as updates come. So let's look at what that might look like, right? Let's say that we wanted to build the book up in a separate tab, so I'll do that. And let's just, for the sake of example, go for 10 levels of the book, right? Because here we have a lot of levels, right? We're adding levels going down to here. I think we have all the way up to here, 100 levels, right? So it gave us 100 levels of the book, and you'll notice that we can see here that these prices are starting from 3892.5 and they're going down, right? So it's basically going from whatever the best bid was at that time that we started, going down 100 levels is what's happening right now. Right? We're getting all the information for these levels. So what I'm going to do, let's just work off of, let's say, 10 levels. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's take these and copy them into a separate sheet. I'm going to paste them right here. Paste them here. Okay, so this is our bids, right? How do we know it's their bids? Because this had a command 2, and command 2 is adding bid level. So we're adding a new bid level at this price, adding a new bid level at this price, and this price, and this price, going down. And the quantities are these: 5, 28, 31, 30. So basically we have the quantities here. So if I did this, let's leave it like that for now. So these are all going to be bids. The next step, I'm going to go down here and grab 10 levels from the ask side. So let's grab these. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grab those. Let's go over here. And the ask is on top of the bid. We're going to put it up here. And what you'll notice is that the ask starts at 389275 and it goes up 3893, 93 and a quarter, 93 and a half, goes all the way up, in our case 10 levels, to 95, each time with its volume. Okay, so what we'll do now, let's mark these ones as ask levels so we don't forget them and we don't get confused. Okay, let's remove this and let's make some column names here. So this is our price, this is our volume, and this is the side, right? And let's increase this thing, and now let's sort these from largest to smallest. Okay, so now we have basically all the bids down here, all the asks up here, and going from 50, 75, even, a quarter, 50, all the way up, 10 levels up, 10 levels down. So basically, if I would have gone through all 100 levels, I would have had 100 levels down, 100 levels up. But we're just doing 10 levels for this example. So after we finished initializing the book, our next step is here, right? We finished initialization, so this happens in the very beginning. And then down here, we start to get updates, incremental updates, one at a time as they happen, right? So in CR chart, basically every time we see a change here, right, something moved, value gets updated, that would be reflected in a row here, right? It'll tell us what price got updated, what was the command, like what was the change, and what's the new number of orders and the new number, the new volume, the quantity, total quantity. Right? So in our case, just to give an example, let's say we finished updating the initial book, so we have this picture. Now we're going to start getting updates. So our first update is a number 4. A number 4 is a modification to the bid level. And if we look here, we can see that we're modifying level 3892.5 with a value of 4. Let's go back here. 3892.5 previously was a 5. Now it's going to be a 4. So if I copy this, after this step, 3892.5 will be 4. And then we get that because of this row here. It changed it from 5 to this new value 4. Going down here, we have another update to that same price level to 3, right? So now this gets changed to 3. The same price, April 3892.5 gets changed to 3. So let's copy this. $3,892.5 gets to 3, so that's our current status. So currently our book looks like that based on this change. Next we have this level here, 3892.25 changing to 27. 3892.25 changing to 27. Again, on the bid. 3892.25 changing to 27, right? So just one contract less. And let's do one more. So now we have a 5, right? This is a new command. Up to now we've done changes to the bid, modify bid, modify bid. What's number 5? Modify ask. So we're modifying an ask level. In this case it's 3893 changing to 19. 3893 changing to 19. So this is our new book. 3893 changing to 19. So at this level, changing to 19 on the ask, right? We have an ask. And basically this way we can go down and see how the order book changes command by command over time, right? So this is literally going step by step and kind of replaying all these flashings and updates of the book as they happen in real time. Right? And using that, we can kind of see how orders were placed, orders were removed, and research how that impacts price and price action and so on. But that's a different story for a different time.